Welcome into hour number 3, Jim Kozimor Show, Sports 1140 KHTK, Monday through Friday, noon to 3, right here on the Big 1140. Football fans love everything. High school football, college football, pro football. And then we've got that off-season stuff known as the draft, where everyone becomes a draftnik. They know about guys and they know who the great new stars are coming up. Well, we are ready to talk to one. Celebrity line is rung. Let's bring in a guy that maybe a lot of you know his name, but maybe you're not so certain what he's been up to. Bryant, outstanding wide receiver from Oklahoma State, joining us here on the Jim Kozimor Show. Hey, Des, thanks for doing it, man. What's going on with you right now? What have you been up to lately?
I've just been training, trying to get back in shape. Just doing what I normally do, just get up and work out.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your recent past, and then we'll start talking some football stuff, because a lot of people are wondering, all right, what's happened to Bryant? First of all, they know you were suspended for something. Give people an update. What did the NCAA suspend you for?
Well, my honest opinion, I just feel like, NCAA suspended me for lying to them, and my opinion is also that they think that I had something going on with Eugene Parker. But it wasn't like that.
And so that situation came about, and you were able to play a couple of games in the last season. They suspended you. And the lie was that the question was regarding who you worked out with. You said, no, you didn't work out with Deion Sanders, and then the rest is history. But my question to you is this. A lot of people would say, all right, maybe he did lie about who he worked out with, but the punishment was quite harsh. You didn't play the rest of the college football season, and yet I've read somewhere that you've accepted the punishment. Do you take any positives away from the punishment the NCAA gave you?
Well, you asked me if they're taking positives away?
No. Are there any positives that you have through this whole experience? What have you learned?
Yeah, man. I learned to be, truthfully and honest at all times. I just felt like even though the punishment was too harsh, because before it got out that I lied, I felt bad that I lied. I came back myself and told the NCAA, yes, that I went out to Deion Sanders' house. That's why they suspended me, because they thought that I lied for saying that I didn't go to his house, but I did go to his house. I told them I didn't go, but I did go. And I just felt like it needed to be out there, and I told them they suspended me. I asked for we did an appeal. They didn't want to, appeal. They didn't want to do the appeal for me, and I'm suspended.
Is it fair to say that you got the message that the NCAA was sending out to you? I mean, it was pretty quick for you to figure out, hey, I get it. I did the wrong thing. This is what it takes when you go into the grown-up world, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I know.
Sir. I just feel like I said once again, the punishment I felt like it was harsh, and in my mind, I thought that would cut me some kind of slack, for coming back then, coming back telling the truth, but they didn't. I just had to deal with it and just move forward.
I was doing a little bit of research on you, and I know you had a tough childhood growing up in Lufkin, Texas. Did this whole situation with the NCAA and the suspension, did it kind of open your eyes to what the real world and what the professional world is eventually going to be like?
Yes, sir. It did. It really was a wake-up call. I just felt like, I I've been matured. I felt like, I got to take things and look at things a different way, like just being on top of my game. Like, things are important now, I got to make them, my main priorities. I just got to be right at all times.
Wide receiver Bryant joining us here on the Jim Kozimor Show, Sports 1140 KHTK. Dez is going to be a first-round draft pick in the NFL draft coming up in April. The question for you, Dez, is people want to know, well, if you haven't played a lot of games this last season, what have you been up to? What are you doing now as you prepare yourself for the Combine? What's going on in your workouts? What's your routine like?
I get up every morning at 6:30, and we work out at 10. We work out at 10, sometimes 9. And, we just go out and train, do drills, to stay in shape. I'm training at Saddlebrook in Tampa.
In Tampa, and so what kind of workouts are they? What do you do in those workouts when you get to the gym?
We stretch. We begin by stretching. We do a lot of like ab work. We do a lot of hurdle work. That just, to loosen up. That's just our warm-up. And then we just go out there and just, basically what we do a lot of, just work on our 40.
Now that you're getting closer and closer to the actual combine and then the draft, how good does it feel to have that last part of the season last year behind you, and now that you can look forward to what you do best, which is play football? How relieving is it for you to be in this situation right now?
Man, it's very relieving. I just feel like, it's less talking. It's more about less negative talking. It's more positive talking about, me being in the draft, me being one of the top receivers in the draft. I just feel like, like I said, it's just more positive talk now. And now that the season is over with, people can look ahead to, what I can bring to the pros.
Des Bryant, Oklahoma State wide receiver, joining us here on the Jim Kozimor Show. He'll go in the first round of the NFL draft. What are your goals? Where do you want to go in the first round? Where do your advisors tell you that you can realistically go in the first round of this upcoming NFL draft?
Well, they tell me that, I'm a top 10 pick. That's what they tell me. And if I do everything right, I can probably slip up and be in the top 5, but I don't listen to it. I just go out each and every day. I just train, trying to get bigger, stronger, and faster. I'm just being focused right now.